Morning, guys. Gonna put a little video on today. This is the morning after the video that you'll see, and at the end of the video, for some reason, it cut off. I don't know. I could put a little something on the end, but I probably won't. So anyway, what the video is going to be is Beck Seed Company has been trying to get Bob and I to take a flight up to Indianapolis, Indiana, where their largest headquarters is located, and I put it off, just had things to do. Well, they've been, last week or so, they mentioned it again. I was not going to go. I had a birthday party for a friend and a landlord of ours. It was a surprise birthday party. Anyway, long story, but it was at 5:30, and the flight wasn't going to be back till like 4:30. Had a couple guys back out. Bob was going to go by himself with another friend, and anyway, like I said, they ended up with another extra seat. So I said, well, I'll go. I'll slip up quick. Hopefully everything works out, and I'll be back in time. So on the end of this video that I'm getting ready to show, it kind of cuts off at the end. So I don't know, I could put something on there and patch it together, but you're just going to get a cut off end. We started planting Becks this year. We planted about half of our corn and about half of our soybeans to Becks. A buddy of ours, a good friend of ours, started selling seed. So we felt a little bit obligated to try it at least. Kind of thought what we would do was, this is bad, but we'd plant some seed. Our other seed would probably smoke it. Then we could show numbers and get out of the loop. Since then, the Beck seed, and I'm not a salesman for Becks, doesn't matter to me either way. However, since then, the Becks that we've planted has really held its own. I'm thinking it's going to be our best corn. Beans, obviously, it's too early for the beans, so we'll see. We won't know on the corn, obviously, until the combines run, but we're gonna say at this point it's pretty good. So anyway, I'll just throw this video on. You guys can watch it. It's kind of just some snippets through the plant, some snippets of the flight. When we came home, we hit a storm this side of St. Louis. It was about an hour and 30-minute flight up and back each way. And we hit some turbulence, like I said, between Kansas City and St. Louis. Pretty rough. Like, popped cans out of the holder, and the guy in front of me that was making fun of me quickly put his seatbelt on after he was making fun of me, and his head hit it wasn't break his neck, hit it, but he hit the ceiling good enough that he put his seatbelt on. So for, I don't know, it seemed like 10 minutes, but Bob seems to think it was closer to 5. You know, we had the zero gravity for 5 or 6 seconds, and then the turbulence that comes with small jets and a storm. Anyway, I'll throw it on, guys. Later. Just got in the air.
So you guys still have cleaner combines?
Yeah.
I brought my hat for you. So
I had mine on, and I changed out with a Beck's. I figured I better wear a Beck's hat.
well, either this or my Pioneer cap, so I thought I'd wear this. I got some rain here today, though.
Coming in, Indiana.
Whole radiator,
Fit into that.
it slides out of the frame.
excited in hopes that maybe they finally done the right thing and get a good solid young quarterback instead of getting a bunch of guys that are 1 or 2 years away from retirement, okay? But nevertheless, that's decades. As I mentioned in the bus on the way in, Beck's hybrids started with Sonny Beck's father and grandfather. So his grandparents purchased the original 80-acre farm across the road most of the P1. They didn't start raising seed corn though, as it become Beck's hybrids until 1937. So if you think about it here and look back, there's a family tree frame here that's actually getting quite outdated. If you photo here, this is what Beck's looked like in 1965, which actually was the same year that Scott Beck, our president, was born. That oval picture of that couple right above that aerial photo is Pauline Beck. So that's the same guy that's pictured over there on the wall in the cornfield. Francis passed away in 99. His wife Pauline passed away in 2001. So they were very much alive and active when I was here in the 80s. Wonderful people, just a really strong heritage for the company. See some of the old things that we used to give away to farmers. So how many of you remember the old winter hats with the big old fuzzy ear flaps? Yeah, that's the kind of hat that we handed out to customers that came to our winter customer meeting back in the 80s when I was there. And then position in other states. However, there are other states that we sell more units because you have more acres. But as far as units sold, I would say really strong chance that that could be Illinois. Then if you think about like Indiana, would probably be the top 3. Corn and beans emphasized, and it simply says the Beck's family of employees. It's kind of nice when you come to work and you feel like that you are a contributing piece to the success of the company that you're a part of, rather than feeling like you're just showing up to stuff the pockets of the shareholders. Studies that we conduct in several states on behalf of the farmer, or if it's the commitment reward program regarding the shotgun. The Beck's family, the leaders of the company, are always challenging us not to be outside the box, not to be shy about bringing those ideas forward, because you never know when that next idea may be a great idea in and of itself, or it could be the beginning of a discussion that involves into something much more. The last one, in the fall, they're going to harvest all of those 2-row plots to see how did that particular variety or hybrid in that environment and those conditions to gauge if it's something that they want to consider in the future putting.
Oh, yeah.
So how many of you were planning on coming to visit Beck's just to see 25, 30-year-old combines? These New Holland combines are some of, I think we have about 13 or 14 of these. A couple of them we just keep back for parts. But these old combines, as you well know, the TR series, it's because they're twin rotors. So when you're harvesting a 2-row test plot system in research, a 4-row horn head on these New Holland combines with 2 rotary shellers works really nice, because these combines have been sent off and retooled, and you guys from Kansas down in Haven, where the Kincaid is built, these have been retooled so it keeps the
Take a picture of that.
Yeah, I didn't care that they cared. We contracted with a company out of California several years ago to extract some genetic material out of one piece of genetic line. Right. This actually, it made a couple modifications, but it used to be 180-day pretty hybrid that they were in South America.
Pretty good stock on that corn.
But anyway, we extracted the material. 3 years ago, we had one that had brace roots, 21 notes. So, just something for fun. When a bunch of farmers come in, though, for facility tours, a bunch of dairy farmers from Wisconsin. That's the rig that's going to hover down and trim off the upper parts of those corn leaves before it begins to produce tassels, and we'll hit it with a roller. Okay? So here to your right is some of the dump parts, and then the foldable 14-row corn head for our pickers. So I think we have 3 14-rows and 2 9-row pickers, and I'll explain that more later. I hope y'all understand. I'm not going to let you out of the bus, because if I do, I'll never get you back in here. Okay? So, yeah, but nowadays when you think about chopping up 1 out of 5 rows, and the equipment it would take, it's hard to push a pencil like that. Yeah. Here to your right, in the low ground, is that 400 bushel plot that Jim was talking about. Now you got to realize this is something Beck's have been working on for years, because when I joined Beck's in the winter of 1984, they were already working on what this was called the 300 bushel plot down here for decades. Dealing with high fertility, different populations, because guys, that was back in the day when 24,000 was the norm. 28,000 you were pushing it, 32,000 you were foolish. Okay? But that was back in the mid 80s. They didn't get it until 1994, second time was 2007. But then about 5 years ago was when some tillage study. So about 2 years ago, Purdue University long-term tillage study. So this is now the longest tillage study in the state of Indiana. It's been here over 30 years. So you have no-till corn on corn. You have a conventional till with a corn-soybean rotation. So there's just different type of crop rotations and tillage practices here over the long haul. And I think in the last 15 years of data, the no-till corn on corn has like a bushel and a half advantage. But the reality is, from one growing season to the other, it seems like it teeters back and forth to which one comes out almost every year. If you look back over your right shoulder, you'll have a better view of Scott's house, where he and his family live. Although his 3 oldest children, his boys, all 3 of them have graduated college and are back in the family business now, and they live elsewhere. So it works out really nice. First goes in there, it's going to pass across a husking bed with your big long rubber rollers that's going to have tips on it, the edge of those husks, and remove it, and then it passes into a large conveyor. As it's passing from the husking bed onto the sorting table, it's going to go through a couple of high-speed digital collar sorter cameras. And yellow is assuming it probably still has a shuck leaf on it. And it'll redirect it back across the husking bed to do it again. If it's darker than yellow, it's assuming it's some type of disease or mold that creates it. And all it is just crushed up corn cob. It makes really nice bedding for horse stalls, for poultry barns, for livestock pen, like at a 4-H fair. It's a very profitable byproduct that we're able to market to help offset the cost of seed corn. Here to your right are the dryers. So, we'll let Trader show you a bad spot. Pull up in here a little bit more. Yeah, maybe a little bit. That's probably good right there. You guys see on down there a little bit from the back? So, each dryer will hold the equivalent of about 45,000 bushels. So when they're both full, you got 90,000 bushels of seed corn, but it's still on the ear. The 2 buildings right here increase output. So where we're going down to now, new tower that'll do 3 million units by itself. So here at this location here in Atlanta, if all 3 lines are running, we can run about 500,000 units of seed through here per year. Yeah, this is our largest location. Yeah. Everything that's on the north side of the road is about. The first step is
Yeah, we should get to take our pick.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big one there.
Must be the one the dealers get it going on their trips, that one.
Probably the one that's broke down. We didn't want that one anyway.
That's a
We're in Zionsville. It's 82 degrees. It's 82 up here. That's what it just said on my phone.
It's hot in that damn bus.
It's 83 in the bus.
That's what he said too.
All right, back to the house. That's impressive. I like the thrust. You never drove a Chevy, you wouldn't understand.
What's that?
So Ralph, he never drove a Chevy, he wouldn't understand.
Chevy? That's what he's got.
I just messing with it. Up we go. Up and away. A little rough there. A little bit of turbulence there. We'll bring you back. Flying don't bother me, it's the turbulence that bothers me. We're above the clouds.
Yeah, they're. I've been on a couple different friends of ours. They were. I took them out one spot in the waterway, and we shot, I don't know, 6 or 7. I go, let's go on over to the sunflower field. They love that. We were there for 15 minutes, and we all limited out. They love.
Got pretty rough there for a little bit. Got a little rougher than pretty rough, I ain't gonna lie. Seatbelts on and leaving the seat type of rough.
They put down towards the Wellington there on the east side. That's a little ways off Paradise on the east side. What they put in there. Where's that at?
So we're on the descent.
On the east side.
Probably about
They got a bunch of
5 minutes out here.
I have no idea.
Thanks to Beck's for
Because they got
taking us up. We appreciate it. Quite a show, quite the hospitality. If you guys get a chance to go to Beck's, I would highly recommend it. Hopefully your flight's not as rough as ours. But no, had a good time.